Sometimes, the heaviest chains are the ones we can't see. They're not made of steel, but of memories, regrets, and what could have been. They aren't made of iron or steel, but of memories, mistakes, and moments we wish we could rewrite. They wrap themselves around our hearts, quietly shaping the way we walk through life. And the strangest part, we get used to carrying them. We start to believe they're part of who we are. But deep down, there's a part of us that remembers what freedom feels like. The version of ourselves that could run without fear, dream without limits, and breathe without the weight of yesterday pressing down. Life has a way of testing us, sometimes through storms that shake us to our core, and sometimes through whispers so quiet we almost miss them. A chance encounter, an unexpected journey, a moment that makes us stop and realize we've been holding on far too tightly. Letting go isn't about forgetting. It's about making space for hope, for healing, for the life that's still waiting for us. It's about understanding that the past may have shaped us, but it does not have to define us. This is a story about that moment, the moment when a heart finds the courage to release the weight it's carried for far too long, and finally feels what it means to be free. This is the story of Daniel, a man who carried his past like an anchor for years, until one unexpected journey showed him that letting go was not losing, but gaining the freedom to live again. Daniel's apartment was small, but it was crowded, not with people, but with his past. Dusty trophies from a basketball career that ended too soon, framed photos of people he no longer spoke to, a box of unopened letters stacked neatly like little landmines of emotion. Everywhere he looked, something whispered, "Remember, this is where you failed." He kept them because he thought if he let them go, it would mean they didn't matter. But in truth, keeping them meant he never stopped living there. Daniel's old team had a reunion game. They convinced him to play. The game was good, fast, intense, familiar. They won. The crowd clapped. But Daniel didn't feel the rush he expected. In the locker room, an old teammate looked at him and said, "Man, you're still playing the game in your head from years ago. It's over. We've moved on. Why haven't you?" That night, Daniel lay in bed, eyes on the ceiling. Those words wouldn't leave him alone. After another failed attempt to meet friends, Daniel took a taxi home. The driver, a man in his 60s named Miguel, noticed his silence. "You look like a man carrying too much luggage, and I don't mean in the trunk," Miguel said with a smile. Miguel told his story, losing his wife young, raising a daughter alone, and keeping every letter she wrote him. For years, those letters were his comfort and his prison. Miguel said, "I burned them. Letting go doesn't mean you stop loving. It means you start living." Daniel stared out the window, but for the first time, he wondered, what would my life look like without the weight? Back in his apartment, Daniel opened the box of letters. There, near the top, was one he had never touched, from his father. His father had passed away suddenly, and Daniel couldn't face the words inside. Hands trembling, he opened it. "Son, I know life hasn't gone as you planned, but the game isn't over. The rules change, the players change, but you, Daniel, you keep moving forward. That's how you win. Always proud, Dad." Daniel's eyes filled, not from grief, but from the first deep breath he had taken in years. Daniel began gathering pieces of his past, the broken watch from his last game, the photo from his failed relationship, the rest of the letters. He wrote a note. I am more than my past. He placed it on top of the items, closed the box, and sealed it. He didn't throw it away. Not yet. But he knew. The next step was coming. The next morning, Daniel drove to a hilltop outside the city. The sun was just rising, painting the sky gold. He dug a small hole under an old oak tree, lowered the box in, and stood there for a long moment, his hand resting on the earth. "Thank you, and goodbye," he whispered. It wasn't the end. It was a release. A week later, Daniel saw an old photo pop up online. The ache came back, sharp, familiar. For a moment, he grabbed his keys, ready to drive to the hilltop, to dig the box back up. But instead, he picked up a basketball, walked to the nearest court, and started to shoot hoops alone. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't easy. But it was progress. Some kids were playing nearby. They invited Daniel to join. He played, not thinking about the glory days, not about what he'd lost. He was just there, in the moment. "You're really good, mister. You should play more," one kid said. Daniel laughed, really laughed, and realized he hadn't heard that. Weeks later, Daniel signed up to coach a local youth team. His apartment looked different, brighter, more open. The plants were new. The framed photos were of today, not yesterday. His father's letter stayed on his desk now, not hidden, not feared. "I didn't lose everything," Daniel thought. "I just had to make space." Before we end, there's something important to understand about letting go. It isn't about forgetting. It isn't about pretending the pain never happened. Psychologists call it emotional release, the process of acknowledging your past without allowing it to chain your future. It's a skill, not a single moment. And like any skill, it takes practice. Think of your life like a book. Some chapters are painful, some are beautiful. But no matter how much we reread the old pages, the story will not move forward until we turn them. Letting go is not the end. It's the beginning. Daniel didn't erase his past. He honored it, learned from it, and then let it rest. And in letting go, he discovered something far greater, the power to live free. If Daniel's story touched your heart, remember, the past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. Let it teach you, let it shape you, but never let it chain you. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us here at the Pearls Whisper Tales, where every story carries a piece of the heart.